Few would doubt that 2016 has been a roller coaster year that's seen seismic shake-ups in global politics that defied expectations. And it's reflected in the language that we've been using this year, as Caleb Maupin explains.
The Cambridge English Language Dictionary has selected its word of the year for 2016. The word is paranoid. The definition? Feeling extremely nervous or worried because you believe that others do not like you and are actively trying to harm you. Well, it's safe to say we live in rather paranoid times. Mainstream media and politicians are constantly hyping up threats that turn out to be non-existent. Since Trump's victory, the U.S. has been overwhelmed with insecurity. There's been talk of mass violence, deportations, world war, and even nuclear weapons going off, as the word fear apparently becomes the favorite reaction of the U.S. media. And over in Europe, Trump's victory means politicians are hitting the panic button when it comes to Russian policy.
We've never been able to understand exactly why he was so much in love with Vladimir Putin.
Russia is really a threat for whole security in Europe, and it's manipulating. It's manipulating also with elections in different countries.
Remember how Angela Merkel talked about Russia hacking the U.S. elections?
We are already, even now, having to deal with information out of Russia, or with internet attacks that are of Russian origin, or with news which shows false information. So it may be that this could also play a role during the election campaign.
While no evidence was provided for an intricate Russian computer plot, it sure stirred up a frenzy. Now Berlin is predicting its elections next year will be targeted by hackers, with a number of polls suggesting that these fears could see 20% of eligible voters abstaining. In Europe, the Brexit vote, along with the rise of some opposition parties, has stoked up fears for minority groups over nationalism.
Is this a fluke or the taste of things to come? Are politics changed for good in the U.S. and in Europe?
The return of nationalism, the rise in populism. It's not just another crisis, it's the crisis.
Faced with this new reality where cultures clash, it's inevitable that some will seek a comfort in nationalism or tribe or ethnicity or sect.
There's been paranoia over misinformation or mysterious fake news.
Fake news has become increasingly, maddeningly, disturbingly popular, especially on Facebook.
The Pope endorsing Trump? Fake. Megyn Kelly fired for backing Hillary Clinton? Fake. Clinton linked to crimes committed by Anthony Weiner? Also fake. Some of these pro-Trump websites in particular actually come from kids, from teenagers living in Macedonia.
Websites that are critical of American policies are being unconditionally branded as fake news, a tactic that has led to some flashbacks of the McCarthy-era witch hunting during the Cold War. Yes, paranoia is a word that certainly captures the spirit of the times. But the folks at Cambridge Dictionary also tell us that one of the most commonly searched words in 2016 was adorable. So perhaps Western audiences should try to forget everything I just said, and for the sake of holding society together, try to focus on this kitten. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.
Well, outspoken British talk radio host John Gaunt told us that people have a right to feel uncertain about their future because they feel betrayed by the establishment.
I think people might be searching for paranoid because people are paranoid about the future. They are nervous about the future. There's certainly a people's revolution going on, so perhaps they worry that the whole world order has changed. But I think people have got a right to be paranoid when we begin to learn about some of the lies the establishment elites have been telling us. We're living in uncertain times, but I also think the left, who lost both the American election and also lost the EU referendum, they're using terms like post-truth, paranoid. They're using it perhaps to fulfill their own political narrative because they haven't got over the fact yet that the masses have spoken and the masses disagree with their agenda and voted against them.